Hey, what's up guys, it's MealyDamage15 here, and I wanted to share some 7 Days to Die news that has been dropping over the past several months, and the things I find most interesting about the new console game. We'll be covering why a new game is going to be released instead of an update, what the game will be called, release date time frame, overall differences between current console and the PC/new console version, and the Fun Pimps new game, 7 Days Blood Moons. Without further ado, let's get into it. First off, is this an update to the original console game? No. This will be a new game altogether. What happened to the console game? So, if you don't already know, back in 2018, Telltale Games went bankrupt, which caused the Fun Pimps to terminate their licensing agreement with the Telltale Games. This in turn allowed Telltale Games to continue to hold on to the publishing rights of that version of the game on the console, but did not allow them to continue to update the game. This is why the console version of the game is still in its Alpha 15 version and why it will never change. Now, what does this mean for us? Will we have to rebuy the game? In short, yes. Again, this will not be an update to the original console version and will instead be a new console game. It will be released alongside the PC's Alpha 22 version and will be that same edition. The Fun Pimps have stated that they want to provide a discount code for people who own the game already, but haven't really provided much information on that, so I wouldn't bet my money on it. Now, the name of the new game was confirmed to be 7 Days to Die Apocalypse Edition. This is to mitigate any confusion between the two console versions. Personally, I like the new name. I think it sounds pretty cool, and I think it'll be a good change for the game. The new console version will also be only released for next-gen consoles such as PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. The Fun Pimps confirmed that they will be at Pax East in Boston. Here they state that they will have demos available for play of both their new games, 7 Days Blood Moons and 7 Days to Die Apocalypse Edition. Here is a clip from the Fun Pimps X page from TwitchCon last year that they had an earlier version of the console game for demo. I assume it'll be like this with only a more polished version of the game. PAX East will run from March 21st to March 24th, so just a few days away. Hopefully we'll hear some more news after that. Now, I didn't know much about Blood Moons originally, but they just came out with more info. You can add the game to your wishlist on Steam, and the description states, 7 Days Blood Moons is a 4v1 fight to the death. Survivors fortify bases and scavenge for materials in their plight against the relentless horde. The zombie hive master commands and possesses the horde to crush the survivors. Who will prevail? So think Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight, but based in the 7 Days to Die universe. I wasn't as excited about this game originally, but the fact that you can get to control the zombies actually seems pretty cool. You can see it here that you get to a place where the zombies will spawn as the survivors try to fortify their defenses to survive the horde. Also, getting to choose which zombie you get to play as is a pretty cool addition. Not bad if you're into these kinds of games, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. When will 7 Days to Die Apocalypse Edition be released? Before we get into that, I just want to give a massive shout out to my subscribers. You are all the reason I love to make videos because you make this fun. We're currently sitting at 118 subs and growing each day. If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing as it really helps me out so much on my channel. Now, the Fun Pimps have been really quiet and cryptic on when exactly the game will be released. In my opinion, I think that it's probably because they knew that there would be problems or things they needed to iron out before the game would be released, which probably caused the release to be delayed anyways. In a few updates on X, like this one, they stated, "Folks, it will be this year." In this one, we know you all have been waiting a long time to get a new console version in your hands, and we are working very hard on it to get a great build out as soon as we can this year. Many people asked in the comments exactly when, and they have said soon and sooner. So very cryptic and not wanting to commit on a date. However, on the PAX East website under the Fun Pimps booth section, they state that they will be showing demos of the long-awaited 7 Days to Die console edition, set to launch on PlayStation 5 and Xbox in summer 2024. The Fun Pimps have also just recently reposted this picture on X to confirm this. Well, there you have it. We now have at least a better timeline on when we can expect the game to be released. This was the first time I have seen an official time frame, but let me know if you knew about this already or had heard it from someone else. I simply want to let people know who haven't heard any news yet. Now, I want to talk about what, in my opinion, are some of the main differences between the current console version and the PC/Apocalypse version. For those of you console players that have never played the PC version, this is for you to prepare yourself for the Apocalypse Edition. I want to start off by saying that I myself have never played the PC version, so these are simply my observations of the main differences that I personally like and have seen from other YouTubers and from the updates that the Fun Pimps have talked about on their X page, along with other research that I have done on the 7 Days Wiki. PC players, if I say something wrong, please correct me in the comments. I'd love to hear what veteran players of the PC version have to say about it, and I don't want to lead anybody else astray. The first major difference I have seen is obviously the updated graphics. The game is way nicer and more HD compared to the current console version. With updated graphics includes a more streamlined combat, as zombies are not as glitchy and path a little bit better, and the zombie AI has been improved. There are more settings to change the game overall to make it run smoother and have less chunk loading, as you can see more of the game. Now, this might be because it's on PC, and we'll have to wait and see how close the PC version is to the PS5/Xbox version and how it performs. There are several more types of zombies, which I am stoked about. To name a few, we have the Hazmat Zombie, Vultures, and Party Girl, as well as a brand new zombie announced on Saturday, the Dire Wolf. There are also familiar zombies that have been simply graphically updated, like the Feral White, Plague Nurse, and Screamer. There are different variants, such as radiated or feral versions, which are basically stronger versions of most zombies, and there are also different colors of clothing or hair to add variety to the zombies. Zombies are smarter and can dig down and break blocks a lot easier. Basically, they know the most efficient way to get to you, and most people call them master engineers because of this. There are more weapons, and you can add weapon mods to them to make them stronger, and there is a different quality tier system. 1 through 6 versus the 1 through 600 that we have now. Because of this change, you cannot combine weapons in the workbench to create better weapons, which kinda sucks, but makes sense given the fact that there are single-digit quality tiers now. There are new outfits/armor. Skills and perks are totally different, with skills mainly costing only 1 to 2 points versus 1 through 30 points that we have now. Traders have quests, which can give you a variety of rewards depending on the tier of quest. I'm super excited for these because it definitely adds things to do in the game. There are more vehicles than the mini bike. Probably one of the things I'm most excited about are these vehicles. The motorcycle and 4x4 are just a few to name. Here are the rest. These vehicles can also be equipped with mods to make them better or hold more storage. There are more POIs, and those POIs have different tiers, which mean more or stronger zombie types are around them. Zombies are also more prevalent inside the POIs instead of mainly being on the outside and none inside. There are also new animal types in the world like coyotes and mountain lions. There's a lot more that I could talk about, but these are the ones that stand out to me. Now, a few months ago, there has been new lore released about the 7 Days to Die world. In these pictures here, we have a few newspapers. The first is titled, Virus Decimates America. It is dated December 5th, 2033, so we know that we're in the future. Basically, it is saying that the world is on the verge of collapse, and that many are fearing Arizona will be next. Arizona is where the game takes place. In the top, it talks about the red moon phenomenon. In the bottom left, we find out that the virus is called the septdiurnal virus, or SDV for short. If you don't know, the prefix sept means 7, so there's kind of a connection there. At this time, 39 states have been infected and nearly 5 million have died. In the bottom right, we have an entry with the picture of Duke H. Cassador. This is the guy that the money in the game is named after. It basically talks about him being a casino owner and that he is mad about the way the government is going about the epidemic and that the Navasgain area should close its borders. The next newspaper is dated January 15, 2034, so it's been a little over a month since the last one. It states that the president has ordered a nuclear launch in an attempt to contain the virus and that millions have died. At this point, hundreds of millions have died, and they felt like this was the only way to attempt to contain the virus. The military is having a hard time controlling the attacks from the infected, and everything is in bad shape. Martial law has taken place pretty much everywhere, the CDC has fallen, and this was a last-ditch attempt. The bottom right of this newspaper states that the infected's capabilities far exceed humans, especially on the 7th day phenomenon when they are even stronger. This is just a cool bit of lore and information that we have been given, and that go into more depth about the background of the game. I really like this because it helps me be more immersed in the game now that there is a good background and story. Well guys, that's it from me today. If you liked the video, help me out and hit that like button and let me know what you think about some of the changes between the PC and current console version in the comments. Do you like these changes? What do you think about the lore? When do you think the game will get an official release date? Are you excited about the Blood Moons game? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm super excited to hear about your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.